Cambridge graduate Julian Dismore is a Mayball veteran of the 80s.
Mayballs are the epitome of hedonism, really, in that for a fairly expensive ticket price, you'd come after the exams are finished to the more famous Cambridge colleges generally, the Trinities, the Johns, the Magdalens, my own college, Emmanuel, and you'd have an amazing evening, starting with dinner about 8 o'clock, going through to 6 in the morning if you're a survivor. They have survivors' photographs. And in between there'd be dodgems, there'd be fairground rides, there'd be famous bands, all kinds of activities, and obviously romantic interludes as well. But it was a particular thrill to actually get into those sort of functions free of charge.
And getting in free of charge was a skill Julian honed to a fine art.
I gatecrashed Trinity, I think 3 or 4 times in 4 or 5 years. Got into Clare, got into St John's, got into Downing, various ways of doing it, often climbing over roofs, climbing through students' rooms if they'd let us, or just climbing over a roof and onto a wall and jumping in. I remember once jumping into St John's and actually landing at the feet of the head of security, who threw his jug of orange over me and then marched me out in an arm lock. I did let everybody know that it was a drill. He was doing very well, but I didn't get back in there very quickly. I was actually thrown out of Trinity once. We got into Trinity, got into the kitchen somehow, and then my friends put me in a dumb waiter and sent me up. I clambered out of the dumb waiter, luckily, I wasn't locked in at the top. Opened the dumb waiter to find I was in the middle of the dining room. So I straightened my DJ, said it's a bit of a tight lift, that one, enjoying the party. At about 5 in the morning, very late in the May ball, one of the security guys spotted I hadn't got a wristband, so he threw me out, and I explained to him it was a very foolish thing to do because it's 5 o'clock. By that point everyone's walking in, and I'd get straight back in, but he didn't believe me, so he escorted me out. 20 minutes later I was back in again. I actually bumped into him again. I said, "Hi, how you doing?" He actually picked me up that time. He picked me up and started to race after my friend who got back in with me. I was really trying to slow him down by wriggling as much as possible, but obviously he was a big bloke. I'm not a big bloke. He had me tucked under his arm as he chased after my friend, who was doing a very silly run throughout the May ball, through the grounds of Trinity. Eventually the security man gave up, threw me out again. 20 minutes later I was back in again, said hello to him. He said, "Oh, forget it, have a nice time," which I think was the best spirit to be going along with anyway. But we had great times at Cambridge, particularly actually after I'd left. I used to come back every June for a weekend and go to June events and May balls and have a terrific time with other graduates.
After getting in for free, Julian and his friends were still keen to indulge in all the benefits a May ball has to offer.
It was particularly good to liberate lots of alcohol. So we'd go to all the free champagne tents, free wine tents, free vodka tents, acquire lots of bottles and bury them. And generally we'd come back the next day, go to our booty and take it away, and it would last us pretty much the rest of the year until the next May ball. That was on one occasion where, very unfortunately, our massive stash of booze and contraband was actually placed very near to where the survivor's photograph was taken. And somebody at the edge of this photograph saw this massive cache of stuff, and it was like locusts as they liberated our liberated alcohol. And by the end of it, there was nothing left for us, which was a travesty of justice.